One of the, like, you talk about the emotion, and that's the standout thing, like, is the constant thread through is the emotional part to it. And Rassie, obviously a smart bloke, right, executive producer, comes up on the credits at the end.
Yeah.
And you see the kind of personal touch points he has with the players.
Yeah.
Like Mazola Mapimpi on the first episode. Again, I keep talking about that's the only access I have.
Yeah.
It's the only, you know, that's all you can get to see.
Yeah.
But you see the emotional touch points that he has in the second episode, the stuff between Dwayne and Eben, which no one knew about, like as in not necessarily them getting on, but them butting heads as kind of two alpha rhinos. Do you know what I mean? And how he manages every individual, and no one's too big.
No one's, he'll call guys out straight away. And I think even before he called Dwayne, Eben and Sia out, like he did in front of the whole team, I think it was, I don't know if it was just before the World Cup or just the start of the World Cup, but he started speaking about it then already because he had the feeling and he could see something wasn't right. And he spoke about we need to like have more respect for each other and appreciate each other more because you can feel something's not right. And then it just so happened like in that Tonga week that you could feel it like, I think it's also the pressure he's getting from like the World Cup, and he knows like he knew we can go back to back, and he knew that we were the only ones that could fuck it up for ourselves. I think, and that's why I think for us it's inspiring. But everyone has so much love and respect for us here, all the Springbok players. But yeah, if he has a go at you like that, you don't say anything back.
Yeah, that's the theme I've seen.
Yeah,
it's like he's the boss.
You just take it on the chin and then you know, like, I think for us, if he has a go at you like that, then he knows there's something wrong. Like a good example, I think it was against Romania in the World Cup in that week. Obviously just beat Scotland, and then we got to training on the Monday. He watches the guys and just picks up on energy and stuff, which he's very good at. And while we're warming up and stuff, we playing a little game, and I think the guys were a bit loose, like laughing and like, not like laughing is okay and stuff, but it was just about like a bit over the top. And then like he's just walking around the field like putting poles on every corner, like on the corner of like the try line and on the other try line and on the other two corners of the other try line. When he blew the whistle and he comes here, he's like, yo, you guys think it's funny, it's nice and relaxed, let's go to the corner, we're going to do 400s now. And not even the conditioner can say anything to Rassie, and he just keeps quiet and he's like, I don't know what to do. And then, like, for some of us, we think Rassie's taking the piss. And then he says, on my whistle, you can do a 400 as fast as you can, like around the cones. And then when you get here, we're going to do it the other way. And like, he's like saying it with the smoke in his face. You don't know if he's being serious or not. And the whistle blows, and the first guys just start running, and then you know, okay, fuck. Now it's on.
And just on the Dwayne and Eben thing, and I didn't know how far to go in this with you and how comfortable you are talking about it, but
yeah.
I think it's so important because people watching that, right, they're looking at the world champions, and I've been in teams before, right, where you don't get on with players. It's just going to happen, right? You've got 40 men in the squad, the testosterone, you're going to have different views and opinions on people.
Yeah.
Now, no one knew about that, so that it kind of almost shocked people. And this doesn't mean that they're not mates, but I think this Sia Eben thing, we know that they're good mates. You've got Dwayne, I think it was for the Ireland game that he wasn't playing, but he was in the kind of coach's box, so you can see that he's aligned with, probably more so, he's gone into coaching. So he is that elder statesman. Like, how uncomfortable was that as players? Was it uncomfortable or not? And the fact that I think we've got to see that just shows these high performance environments and the conversations needed to be had to go on and win a World Cup. You can't just brush them under the carpet, right?
No, you can't brush stuff like that under the carpet. And I think Rassie called it out at the perfect time. But when he calls it out, he'll never call the three guys alone and have a chat to them in a room. He'll call it out in front of the whole team. It's not like he's not making an example of them, but he wants everyone to know that just because you're Sia Khaleesi or Eben Etzebeth or Dwayne Vermeulen, not more important than the team, you'll never be more important than the team or South Africa. And if you're not going to be aligned, then there's a good chance he won't play you. It was hard because I think a lot of the players picked up on it, but no one said anything. I think I picked up on it. And
what was it?
Like, I picked up on the bad vibes, but I understood it as well. So I love Dwayne, I love Eben, I love Sia. I played a lot of rugby with all of them, and I got the utmost respect for all of them. And I think just like the there was just like a bit of, I wouldn't say miscommunication, but like maybe misunderstanding. Because like Dwayne does moan a lot, but he moans a lot because he knows how hard we work and how much we sacrifice and how little we get in return from the coaches. But I think it's only like that because they want the best for us and they want to keep us under pressure constantly. So like, I think for the coaches, they don't want us to relax or switch off and stuff. In every team environment, people say we don't moan and stuff, but everyone fucking moans.
Yeah.
It happens. You'll find like you'll just have a bad day and you'll find the smallest shit to moan about and you'll moan about it. Dwayne would just moan about small things that carry on happening. And it's just like leaving shit around like the team room or in the team bus, like clean up after stuff. Because I think Dwayne is very Afrikaans and he is a few years older than all of us, so he is a bit more old school than us. But his whole thing is like discipline, and if you're gonna leave your shit laying around, it's gonna creep into the game and onto the field. And it's those small things, once they start creeping in, it's hard to get it away, and it breaks momentum completely. And then I understand Dwayne's point of view because he's moaning about it for a reason, but sometimes he'd moan about it maybe a bit too much, and maybe he didn't understand it. But I understood it, but I didn't say anything. And then Sia and Eben would get frustrated and they wouldn't ever go at each other, but like you could see like there was not trust breaking, but there was just like they were like bumping heads the whole time. And like I said, Rassie picked up on it quite early but didn't say anything. He said there's something not right here, you guys need to sort something out. He didn't call them out. He just said in front of the whole team, and then it just happened in that week against Tonga. He called it out like full on in front of everyone. And I think it happened at the right time. But it's just weird like that, like how he said, Bongi, you're going to be captain next week. That's how he made Sia captain in 2018. It wasn't like he called Sia into his office and said, Sia, look here, I'm going to give you captaincy. It's just like we were sitting there as a team for the first time and he said, Sia, you're going to be captain of the Springboks now. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And I think like even for Sia, I think for him at the time it was a shock, and he's taken it in his stride and he's been fucking incredible. But even I think if Sia was a bit scared at the time, he would never have said no. I think you can't say no to Rassie. I think he's just got that like power, and not power, but like he's got that like dominance, and I think when he gives that dominance off, he makes you believe so much that you can achieve more than what you have achieved already.
Mate, that's class insight, and I'll tell you why, because when you initially started that and you're talking about like he's moaning, so automatically I'm thinking, what is he moaning about? There's too much training, there's too much contact. Is he moaning about running? He's moaning about the 400 metre runs, but he's not. He's actually moaning about standards, Dwayne Vermeulen.
Yeah.
So that's what he's pushing the team in that, and then you've got the younger lads who feel, well, I say the younger lads, but do you know what I mean? As in like the rest of the lads feeling as if, well, we are doing enough, and that, yeah, mate, that kind of insight is gold.